Hello friends, my name is Dr. Huma Hassan and I am continuing my series on the lectures of SCERT Anthropology. So in my previous class, I have explained about the meaning and the nature of anthropology. Now I'm explaining that how SCERT is talking about biosocial aspects. What have I done? I have taken the important lines from SCERT class level. So biosocial nature of anthropology, right? So when you are going to see the definition which we have discussed yesterday with respect to health COVID, he said that man and his work. So man here means human as a biological organism and works here means culture. So it is man and his work. So man, biology, culture, social part. So biosocial aspects, right? That is what make anthropology unique discipline. Okay, so there are various times we have seen that UPSC have framed question on this dimension: biosocial, unique, integrated, systematic. So whensoever UPSC is framing question on the meaning of anthropology, you need to write on the biosocial aspect. Okay, so anthropology studies organic or biological factor as well as social cultural factor, because we are interested in humans. Okay, we are interested in knowing biosocial cultural evolution, what makes human. So it is not at all because of your physical appearances you can call yourself humans. It is also because of your social cultural behavior. Okay, that is why you would see that those humans who look like humans but they are involved in heinous crimes such as rape, murder, etc. So we call those type of human as animals. Okay, so they are animal, right? So we would see this part. Okay, excuse me. Right. So biosocial aspect, right? Now, it is also believed that anthropology studies everything. Partially, it's correct, but the focus is not the same. It can't studies everything. It is a unique discipline for sure, but the focus of anthropology, when we are looking into the every aspects of our physical and social world, it is with respect to understand humans evolutionary characteristic. That is something you people have to learn from the beginning. Okay, so anthropology studies about men in a holistic manner. It's a very unique approach. Okay, because we are focusing on biosocial aspect, but that doesn't mean that we are learning everything. For instance, when I am looking at the political aspects or political anthropology, I am interested in knowing political power structure. So the dynamics of power equation, how it got started. So for that, I would be very much interested in knowing that how power dimension work in the primitive society, how it worked in archaic society, and how it is working in today's society. And then I would be reflecting on formalistic and substantivist debate. Okay, so formalistic debate is given to us by economics, like nowadays contemporary economics, and they are saying that how the current model should be the way to understand economy and society. Then we do have substantivist approach given to us by Carl Polanyi, who is talking about that how cultural element is so very much important to understand even economic development. So that means that I am looking in a evolutionary understanding and also with respect to current meaning of economy or polity, right? So that is what we have to learn. So when I was trying to understand polity, so I wanted to know evolution of political structure. So when I'm talking about substantivist and formalistic approach, I'm talking about economic anthropology. Then also I would be knowing about the religion, how it got started, what is now modern religion means in contemporary scenario, what is religion revivalism. So it's mean that I'm understanding everything. Now with respect to humans, okay, biological aspect, so it is not at all that I'm only now the genetics is not very much important for me, because now we know about how we have evolved. So even the biological aspect, it is changing. So we are also interested in that. But yes, with respect to the syllabus of anthropology paper 1 and paper 2, you would say that bio part is very it's small. You are going to get about human evolution, biological evolution in 1.4, and then you have 4 or 5 topics, 9.1, to 9.5, which is dealing in human genetics or genetic markers. Okay, so you have only 5 topics, I would say. 1.7 is basic structure of cell. In any way, UPSC aspirant has to know about mitosis, meiosis, DNA replication. What is happening? Why I am bringing this point? Because most of the students coming from science background and not taking anthropology, thinking that they have to study lot of biology. No, not at all. Even students coming from social sciences who have never studied biology, who are coming from humanities background, taking anthropology as an optional. You need to know the tricks. Okay, you need to make the 150 words ka answer with respect to biological concepts. You need to learn about some reports and diagrams, and that's it. In fact, biological part is going to be a savior in your journey, because that is static, that will not change. Mitosis, meiosis will not change, right? Basic structure of cell anatomy will not change. Okay, when you're talking about Mendelian theory, it will not change. Hardy-Weinberg theory, it will not change. So that is going to help you, in fact. And most of the questions which are coming in bio part, that I've said that it is like for the 10 markers or easier, that you can learn it. You do not have to apply a lot of critical engagement. On the other hand, social part, that is like, where you are learning about religion, culture, civilization, that is also not that very difficult. Okay, so you would see tribal anthropology, you need to learn lot many case studies and what are the problems tribals are facing. So there are 4 actually sections, I would say, right? You do have archaeological anthropology. In archaeological anthropology, again, you need to have strategy. So strategies you people have to apply. Okay, so this is just an insight I have given those who are interested in taking anthropology optional. Please take it. It's not at all difficult. Even you would see that if you have covered the syllabus, the subtopics of anthropology, you are going to get good marks in anthropology optional. Provided अगर आपने मेरे से पढ़ा है तो. Just joking. Anyway, anthropology studies organic biological factors as well as social cultural factors of human beings. Now, both the factors are equally important and relevant, since anthropology studies the biological factors like human origin, evolution and variation, as well as social cultural factors like society, culture, etc. So as it expects and uses the general principles of biological social science, you can see that how it is a biosocial science. और इसी में यूपीएससी ने क्वेश्चन पूछा है, anthropology is the most humanistic among the sciences and the most scientific among the humanities. 20 mark का direct question इस line में से आया है, that has been borrowed from SCERT Kerala board. मुझे समझ में नहीं आता that why aspirants are not looking into this book. Okay, it is free of cost. It will not cost you a single penny. You can just download and see that how UPSC is framing question on these themes. Okay. Then again, you have got another question on these lines, and these all are subheadings in your Kerala board SCERT. Okay, and no one will, I would say that you will often find video on SCERT Kerala board. You just see to it. I personally see only myself, Dr. Huma Hassan, who is telling the truth about it. Okay, I have not seen any video so far when I was doing my digital ethnography and research. If you are finding, please comment and tell me on the channel that you have some channels. So like, there are some YouTubers or the teachers who are reflecting on this important book. ओके, सो अगर आपने ये बुक भी पढ़ लिया है SCERT की, जो केरला बोर्ड की बुक है, आप देखोगे कि कितने सारे क्वेश्चन डायरेक्टली इसी टॉपिक पे से, इनके सब टॉपिक पे से बनाए गए हैं. So another question which UPSC did ask on this comparative, integrative and holistic nature for 20 marks. So anthropology is more than a biosocial science. It has many other peculiarities. Anthropology, on the other hand, considers human life in totality. So it means that we are reflecting on human life in total, in holism. Okay, so that is very important. So most often people think that an anthropology study fossils or primitive or Western cultures, which is a misconception. So you do have lot many misconceptions with respect to anthropology. For example, people think that anthropologists are only looking into the primitive societies. No, not at all. We are looking into the primitive society. In fact, you can call me as social cultural anthropologist who had dealt with the concept of caste and culture in India, and that is social culture, contemporary issue. Okay, so my work reflected in 2018. So it is not something primitive. I'm not only talking about the tribal people, okay? I have spoke about the tribals, I have spoke about tribe and caste continuum, but my work is reflecting on a on very contemporary issue. Okay, so it is not at all that anthropologists, social cultural anthropologists are looking into the primitive society. So you can have that, these anthropologists have their measures. So physical anthropologists might look into the physical aspects. If they are coming from the medicines field, so they might be doing medical anthropology in their specialization, or they are trying to understand about the human genetics. Okay, they are going to understand how adaptation is happening or genetic markers. So they might be interested in that as well. But also, while they are making their physical anthropological insights or doing their research, they would also look at the social cultural part as well. Now, if someone is doing their majors in archaeological anthropology, so they would have to take social, physical aspects as well. Okay, so we do have many misconceptions with respect to anthropology. For example, social cultural anthropologists, they are also looking at the physical aspects as well. For example, when I am dealing with any social cultural part, or if I'm doing a research on any community, I also go into the in-depth understanding of their racial categorization. Okay, so I do know what their nasal index, cephalic index, what is their stature, like their height, their mandula, everything. There are different indices by which we can calculate. And then I would say what their physique type. Okay, so I would be getting into depth while learning about their physical appearances. So I would try to see that which particular race this person looks like. Okay, Mongolide or Caucasoid, or there are a lot many Australite, Negritos, and then there are different sub branches as well. As well. So I would be looking into the physical appearances also. I would also be looking at the genetic markers also. I would be also looking at the health and physical aspects as well. So there are a lot many dimensions. Even as a social cultural anthropologist, when I am reading any particular community or the tribes, okay. So as a matter of fact, anthropology is a comparative and integrated discipline that examines all societies, ancient, modern, simple, or complex. And all these paragraphs I have directly taken from SCERT. So it is also considered as a holistic science, as it studies the whole of human conditions, past, present, future, as well as biology, society, languages, and culture. Now, in this manner, you can get a model answer of a question, okay, which UPSC did ask. So, in order to understand humans in their totality, anthropologists resort unique method, that is ethnography or field work. So anthropology is a field science. So on this topic also we have got a 10 marker, anthropology as a field science. Okay, you can see, since I have opened this series, or since I have opened this chapter, I have shown that how almost on every subtopics and the lines, on these lines, UPSC have framed its question. Now, what is field science? So field science is a method where anthropologists goes on the field and collect their data. Field science is a gift given to us by anthropology to all other social sciences discipline, because it was how anthropology developed. So it was developed through the travelers. Okay, so when the travelers used to go from one place to another place, they used to not only talk about the social cultural part, they also used to talk about the physical appearances of individuals. So it was always a field science. Okay, so participant observation, later you will see that how Malinowski, Radcliffe Brown, Edmund Leach, Caitlin Gore, Levi Strauss, they all have conducted several field studies on it. Okay, so there's a high relevance of field science we have taken from anthropology, because we are using lot many research techniques to gauge and to understand people differently, to understand not only by our own lenses, but from their perspective, so from their views, so insider views, and also as a researcher. Okay, so that's why you will find that people are talking about various thinkers, like who have conducted their research, and using field work or field technique. That is why anthropology is also known as field science. Okay, you know Jane Goodall, she's a famous primatologist. So when she was analyzing chimpanzees or the primates, she was also on the field, and then she was talking about that how she can see whatsoever helpful for us to understand the lineages or the relationship between the primates and the humans. Okay, so it means that anthropologists are always on the fields, whether it's biological anthropologists or archaeologists or social cultural anthropologists. So in this manner, you would see that how anthropology is a unique discipline that is examining humans in a holistic manner, in a comparative manner. Okay, so this is really very important for all of us. Okay, and you can see that how field work is a backbone of anthropological research. Now you can see that you should make different notes whatsoever I have explained. First of all, you make your 200, your 250 words ka answer on biosocial aspects. Then you should make a note on how it is about comparative, integrated, and holistic science. Then you make a note on field science, and then you can also talk about field work is the backbone of anthropological research. So I hope you are getting huge benefit from my SCERT reading and explanation. Please read these chapters and make your thorough notes, and then you will see there is a huge difference in your understanding of anthropology before you join any coaching or you go for advanced level of learning for